I was in a meeting with the Japanese investors when my phone buzzed. 3 texts from my brother Tyler, each more self-satisfied than the last. Tyler, found a buyer for that old beach house of yours. Tyler, getting $200,000. You're welcome. Tyler, sold your beach shack for quick cash. You never use it anyway. I glanced at the messages and set my phone face down on the conference table, refocusing on the presentation about the Singapore expansion. Mr. Brennan? Takeshi Yamamoto, the lead investor, was waiting for my response to his question about quarterly projections. My apologies, I said smoothly. You were asking about Q4 revenue targets. We're projecting $340 million across the Asian markets, with Singapore accounting for approximately 28% of that total. The meeting continued for another hour. My phone buzzed repeatedly, but I ignored it. Whatever Tyler was doing, it could wait. When the investors finally left, I checked my messages. 12 texts from Tyler, 3 from my mother, 2 from my sister Rachel, and 1 missed call from an unknown number with a 305 area code. Miami. Mom, Tyler told me about the beach house sale. Finally. That place was just sitting there rotting. At least he got something for that dump. Tyler, buyers paying cash. Closing in 3 days. I'll send you your half after I take my finder's fee. Tyler. Actually, since I did all the work, I'm thinking 60-40 split. You literally never even visit that shack. Rachel. Did you really let Tyler sell your beach house? Mom says you two are splitting the money? I took a deep breath and called the Miami number back. Azure Coast Resort and Residences Management Office. A professional voice answered. This is Patricia speaking. Patricia, this is Daniel Brennan. I had a missed call from this number. Mr. Brennan. Yes, thank goodness. We have a situation. A man claiming to be you appeared this morning with a sales contract for the property. Our security team detained him when the signatures didn't match our records. I closed my eyes. Describe the man. Mid-30s, brown hair, about 6 feet tall. He became very agitated when we questioned his identity and started insisting that he had power of attorney over your beach shack. Sir, is this person known to you? He's my brother, I said. His name is Tyler Brennan. He doesn't have power of attorney over anything of mine. That's what we suspected, Patricia said. We've contacted local police. He's currently being questioned about attempted fraud. Should we press charges? I considered. Let me call you back in 10 minutes. I hung up and immediately called my attorney, Richard Chin. Richard, I need you to do something for me, I said without preamble. My brother just attempted to fraudulently sell my Miami property. Resort Security has detained him and called the police. Can you contact Miami PD and handle this? The Azure Coast property? Richard asked, and I could hear him already typing. Jesus, Daniel. Your brother tried to sell a $40 million resort complex. Apparently he thinks it's a beach shack worth $200,000, I said. Richard was silent for a moment. What do you want me to do? I can have him arrested for fraud, attempted identity theft, forgery. Take your pick. Let's start with a stern warning, I said. Get him released to local custody with the understanding that charges are pending. Then have someone explain to him exactly what he tried to sell. You want him to know? Richard asked. He's going to find out eventually, I said. Might as well be now. Consider it done, Richard said. I'll call you back. I texted Tyler, we need to talk. Call me. 3 dots appeared immediately, then, busy closing the deal. Can it wait? Call me now. My phone rang within seconds. Danny, I'm literally at the title company, Tyler said, his voice bubbling with excitement. The buyers here were signing paperwork. Can this wait an hour? Tyler, where exactly are you right now? Miami, he said. Where the beach house is. Obviously. And you're at a title company? Well, we were. Then the buyer insisted we go to the actual property for some kind of inspection, so we drove over, but there was this weird misunderstanding with security. Let me guess, I interrupted. Security detained you. Silence. Tyler. How did you know that? His voice had changed, uncertainty creeping in. Because they called me, I said calmly. Because I own the property. Because you don't have any legal authority to sell it. Danny, don't be like this, Tyler said, switching to his wheedling tone. I found a buyer willing to pay $200,000 cash for that dump. That's incredible for a property you never use. We should both be celebrating. Tyler, describe the property to me. What does it look like? It's a beach house, he said impatiently. Old, rundown, probably hasn't been updated since the 70s. Honestly, I'm surprised anyone wanted to buy it. The buyer must be planning to tear it down and rebuild. Where is this beach house located? Specifically. On the beach. In Miami. Danny, what's with the interrogation? The address, Tyler. What's the address? I heard paper rustling. 2750 Ocean Boulevard. Look, security is walking over here with some woman in a suit. I need to go. Tyler, listen to me very carefully, I said. Do not sign anything. Do not say anything. Wait for my attorney. His name is Richard Chin and he'll be there within the hour. Your attorney? Danny, you're being insane. The line went dead. I sat back in my chair and waited. 30 minutes later, Richard called back. I'm at the property now. Your brother is, well, he's in shock. You told him. I showed him, Richard said. Walked him through the entire complex. All 42 luxury units, the infinity pools, the spa facility, the 5-star restaurant, the private marina. The look on his face when he realized what he'd tried to sell was priceless. And the buyer? Wasn't a buyer, Richard said. Was a real estate scammer who probably planned to forge documents and flip a fake deed. Your brother was about to get himself arrested and scammed simultaneously. Miami PD is dealing with that individual now. And Tyler. Sitting in the resort manager's office looking like he's going to be sick, Richard said. Patricia has been very professional, but I think she's enjoying this. What do you want me to do with him? Put him on the phone. There was a pause, muffled voices, then Tyler's voice, barely above a whisper. Danny? Tyler. This isn't a beach shack. No, I agreed. This is a resort. A luxury resort. Azure Coast Resort and Residences, I confirmed. 42 residential units, full resort amenities, 5-star rating, 98% occupancy rate year-round. The property manager said it's worth $40 million. Current market valuation is $43.7 million actually, I said. Though that fluctuates based on the Miami luxury market. You own a $43 million resort? His voice cracked. I own several properties, I said. But yes, Azure Coast is one of them. How? Why didn't you tell anyone? You never asked, I said simply. You just assumed it was a worthless beach shack because that fit your narrative. Your narrative? The narrative where I'm the unsuccessful brother, I said. The one who made different choices than you. The one who didn't follow the family plan. That's not, he started then stopped. Okay, maybe that's fair. Tyler, what made you think you could sell my property? I found the deed in Mom's storage unit, he admitted. From when you had mail forwarded there years ago. It just said residential property, and gave the address. I Googled it and found some old photos from like 20 years ago when it was just a single house. I figured you'd bought it as an investment and forgotten about it. So you decided to sell it without asking me? I thought I was helping. Tyler protested. You never talk about your finances, you drive a normal car, you live in a regular apartment. I thought you were struggling and too proud to admit it. I thought if I sold the house and gave you the money it would help you out. That's remarkably presumptuous, I said. I know, he said miserably. Danny, I'm so sorry. I almost committed fraud. Almost. Jesus, I could have gone to jail. Yes, I agreed. You could have. Are you going to press charges? I was quiet for a moment. Richard, are the police insisting on charges? They're willing to let it go as a family misunderstanding if you don't press charges, Richard's voice came from speakerphone. Though they've made it very clear to Tyler how serious this was. Then no charges, I said. But Tyler, we need to have a conversation about boundaries. Absolutely, Tyler said quickly. Whatever you want. Danny, I'm so sorry. Stay in Miami tonight, I said. I'll fly down tomorrow and we can talk in person. Richard will arrange a hotel for you. I can't afford a hotel in Miami, Tyler said quietly. I use my credit cards for the flight down here. Richard will arrange it, I repeated. The firm will cover it. After I hung up, I sat staring out my office window at the New York skyline. My phone buzzed again, my mother. Mom. Tyler says you're angry about the beach house sale? Honey, he was just trying to help. You shouldn't be upset with him for trying to get you some money. I didn't respond. Mom. Also, he says there's been some misunderstanding about the property value? He sounded very confused. Can you call me? I called her. Daniel, finally, she said. Tyler called me in a panic saying something about a resort and police, and I don't understand what's happening. Tyler tried to sell my Miami property without my permission, I said. Using forged documents. He was detained by resort security and questioned by police. Resort security? My mother repeated. The beach house has security? The beach house is a 42-unit luxury resort worth approximately $43 million, I said. Yes, it has security. Silence. Mom. Did you say $43 million? Current market valuation, yes. For the beach house. The one you bought 10 years ago for what? $400,000. I bought the original property for $380,000, I confirmed. Then I demolished it and built a luxury resort complex. I spent about $12 million on development. It's now worth $43 million. More silence. You built a resort? My mother's voice was faint. When? How? Over the past 10 years, I said. It took about 3 years to build, then 7 years of operations to reach current value. And you never mentioned this? I mentioned it several times, I said. At Thanksgiving 2015, I told you I was developing a property in Miami. You said that sounded nice and changed the subject to Tyler's promotion. At Christmas 2017, I invited you all to the grand opening. Everyone was too busy. At Easter 2019, I mentioned the resort had won a 5-star rating. Dad asked if I was still playing real estate and suggested I get a stable job. I don't remember any of this, my mother said weakly. You weren't listening, I said simply. You never have been. That's not fair, Daniel. Isn't it? I asked. Mom, Tyler literally tried to sell a $43 million resort for $200,000 because he assumed it was worthless. He assumed that because you all decided years ago that I'm not successful. Nothing I've said or done has changed that perception. You live in a small apartment, she protested. You drive a Honda. You don't act like someone who owns a resort. The apartment is 3,000 square feet in Tribeca, I said. It's worth $8 million. I keep a low profile because I prefer privacy. But you've never asked about my actual situation. You just assumed. I could hear her breathing on the other end of the line. How many properties do you own? She finally asked. 7, I said. The Miami Resort, a hotel in Charleston, a boutique property in Savannah, 3 residential buildings in Brooklyn, and my Tribeca apartment. Total portfolio value is approximately $127 million. $127 million, she repeated numbly. Give or take, I said. The market fluctuates. And you never told us? I tried to tell you, I said. You weren't interested. You were too busy comparing me to Tyler and finding me lacking. Your brother has a good job, she said defensively. He's a marketing director. Making $140,000 a year, I finished. I know. It's a respectable position. Good for him. And you? My properties generate about $14 million annually in net income, I said. After expenses, property management, and taxes. The phone was very quiet. Mom. I need to sit down, she said. I'm sitting down. I need to lie down. Are you okay? My son owns $127 million in real estate and generates $14 million a year in income, and I've been feeling sorry for him, she said, voice rising slightly. Your father and I have been worried about you for years. We thought you were barely scraping by. Why would you think that? Because you never spend money, she said. You don't take vacations, you don't buy nice things, you live simply. I take plenty of vacations, I interrupted. I just don't post about them on social media. And I do buy nice things, I just don't show them off. Mom, I've been to 30 countries in the past 5 years. I collect art. I have a Banksy and 2 Warhols. I'm perfectly happy with my life. But you seem so ordinary, she said helplessly. That's intentional, I said. I don't need external validation. I built wealth for security and freedom, not for show. Does anyone know about this? My close friends, my business partners, my attorney, my accountant, I said. The people who matter know. And your family doesn't matter? She sounded hurt. My family never asked, I said quietly. And when I tried to share, you weren't interested. So I stopped trying. He was crying now. I'm so sorry, Daniel. We've been terrible to you. Not terrible, I said. Just dismissive. You had a certain idea of who I was, and you never questioned it. Your father is going to die when he finds out, she said. He's been telling everyone you're struggling, that you made poor choices, that you should have gone into finance like he wanted. Dad can think whatever he wants, I said. It doesn't affect my life. Will you tell him? Or should I? You can tell him, I said. I'm flying to Miami tomorrow to deal with Tyler. I'll call Dad when I get back. Tyler feels terrible, she said. He really thought he was helping. Tyler committed fraud, I said flatly. He forged documents and attempted to sell property he didn't own. That he thought he was helping doesn't make it legal. But you're not pressing charges? No, I said. Because he's family. But this conversation needs to happen. All of you need to understand that you can't just make assumptions about my life. We understand now, she said. Do you? I asked. Or do you just understand that I'm wealthy? Because those are two different things. She had no answer for that. I hung up and booked a flight to Miami for the next morning. That evening my sister Rachel called. Mom told me, she said immediately. About the resort. About everything. Danny, I'm freaking out. Why are you freaking out? Because I've been giving you money, she practically shouted. For the past 2 years. Every few months I send you $500 or $1,000 because I thought you were struggling. I closed my eyes. I'd wondered where those Venmo transfers were coming from. Rachel. You're worth over $100 million and I've been sending you grocery money. I never asked you to do that, I pointed out gently. You never told me not to, she countered. God, you must have thought I was so condescending. Here's some money, poor brother Danny who can't make ends meet. I thought you were being kind, I said honestly. I appreciated the gesture even though I didn't need it. Why didn't you tell me to stop? Because it made you feel good to help, I said. And it didn't hurt me to accept. What was I going to do, tell you I make more in a month than you make in a year? That seemed cruel. I make $85,000 a year as a teacher, she said. You make $14 million. Danny, the math on that is insane. Your job is more important than mine, I said. You're shaping young minds. I just collect rent. You built a luxury resort from nothing, she corrected. You created jobs, provided a service, built something beautiful. Don't diminish that. Thanks, Rach. I'm coming to Miami, she announced. I'm taking a personal day and I'm coming with you tomorrow. Someone needs to be there for the Tyler conversation and it should be someone who's not angry. I'm not angry, I said. You're disappointed, which is worse, she said. Tyler almost went to jail, Danny. He's probably traumatized. Let me come. Fine, I said. But you're flying commercial. I'm taking the jet. Silence. You have a jet? Fractional ownership, I said. I own 25% of a Citation X. It's more cost-effective than first class when you travel as much as I do. Of course you have a jet, she said faintly. Why wouldn't you have a jet? Is there anything else I should know? Do you own an island? A yacht? A professional sports team? No island, no yacht, no sports team, I said. Just real estate. Just real estate, she repeated. Just $127 million in real estate. $127 million is the current valuation, I said. I have about $34 million in mortgage debt across the properties, so my net equity is closer to $93 million. Oh, only $93 million, she said. That makes it so much more relatable. I couldn't help but laugh. I'll text you the flight details, I said. We leave at 8 a.m. I'll be there, she promised. Danny, I'm really sorry we didn't see you. The real you. It's okay, Rach. It's not, she said. But I'm going to do better. We all are. The next morning, Rachel met me at Teterboro Airport. She stared at the Citation X for a full minute before speaking. This is your plane. 25% my plane, I corrected. It has your initials on the tail. The ownership group voted on the registration, I said. Come on, we're cleared for takeoff. The flight to Miami took 2.5 hours. Rachel spent most of it asking questions about my properties, my business strategy, my life. Actually listening. It was nice. We landed at Miami Executive Airport and took a car service to Azure Coast. Rachel's jaw dropped when we pulled up to the property. This is yours, she said, staring at the gleaming white towers, the pristine beach, the immaculate grounds. You built this. Technically, I hired architects and contractors to build it, I said. But yes, it's my project. Patricia, the resort manager, met us in the lobby. Mr. Brennan, welcome. Your brother is in the business center. He's been subdued. Thank you, Patricia. This is my sister, Rachel. Pleasure to meet you, Patricia said warmly. Would you like a tour of the property before meeting with your brother? Rachel looked at me pleadingly. Sure, I said, smiling. Let's do the tour. Patricia showed us everything. The residential units with their floor-to-ceiling windows and private balconies. The infinity pools overlooking the ocean. The spa that had won awards from Travel Plus Leisure. The restaurant helmed by a James Beard-nominated chef. The private marina where residents kept their yachts. Rachel was silent throughout, just taking it all in. Finally, Patricia led us to the business center. Tyler sat at a desk, staring at a laptop screen. He looked like he hadn't slept. Tyler, I said. He jumped up. Danny. Wait. I didn't know you were coming, Rach. Moral support, Rachel said, hugging him. For both of you. We sat down in the small conference room. Tyler couldn't meet my eyes. I've been doing research, he said quietly. All night. About this place, about your other properties. Danny, you're one of the most successful real estate developers in the Southeast. I do okay, I said. You do way better than okay, Tyler said. The hotel in Charleston was featured in Architectural Digest. The Brooklyn buildings have a waiting list of like 500 people. You're not just successful, you're elite-level successful. And yet you thought I owned a worthless beach shack, I said. He flinched. I know. I was stupid. I was presumptuous. You were operating on assumptions, I interrupted. Assumptions our family has held for years. That I'm the unsuccessful brother. The one who didn't follow the plan. The one who needs help. You've never corrected us, Tyler said defensively. You could have told us the truth. I did tell you the truth, I said. Multiple times. You just didn't believe it fit your narrative, so you dismissed it. Rachel cleared her throat. I think what Danny's saying is that we all, including me, decided who he was without actually asking or listening. We made him the family project, the one to worry about, without ever checking if that was accurate. Tyler was quiet for a moment. You're right. We did. And I'm sorry, Danny. Not just for trying to sell your property, but for not seeing you. The real you. Apology accepted, I said. But Tyler, this can't happen again. You can't make decisions about my life without consulting me. You can't assume you know what's best for me. I know, he said. I really do know now. God, when the police were questioning me, when I realized what I'd almost done. Danny, I could have cost you millions in legal fees, damaged your reputation, created liability issues. I was so focused on my idea of helping that I didn't consider the consequences. What made you think you even had access to my deed? I asked. It was in Mom's storage unit, Tyler said. From years ago when you had mail forwarded there. I was helping her clean it out and found a box of your old documents. The deed was there and I thought I'd found a solution to what I perceived as your financial struggles. Without asking me if I was actually struggling, I pointed out. Without asking, he admitted. I'm really sorry. I looked at my brother, genuinely contrite, genuinely shaken. I forgive you, Tyler. But we need to establish some boundaries going forward. Whatever you want, he said immediately. First, no more assuming you know my financial situation, I said. Second, no more making decisions about my property or my life without explicit permission. Third, no more pitying me or treating me like I need saving. Done and done, Tyler said. Is there a fourth? Fourth, I said, stop comparing yourself to me. We have different lives, different goals, different measures of success. You're a marketing director making good money in a career you enjoy. That's success, Tyler. You don't need to own resorts to be successful. His eyes got watery. Thanks, Danny. Now, I said, standing up. Patricia tells me the restaurant here makes an excellent brunch. Let's eat and then you can tell me about what's actually going on in your life. Not your job or your salary. What makes you happy? What you're working toward? What you care about? Really? Tyler looked surprised. Really, I confirmed. I've been so busy protecting my privacy that I haven't been a great brother either. Let's fix that. Over brunch, which was indeed excellent, Tyler opened up. He talked about feeling pressured to constantly advance in his career, to make more money, to hit arbitrary milestones. He talked about feeling like he was never quite enough in our parents' eyes. Even as the successful son, he said, I never felt like I measured up to Dad's expectations. And then I'd look at you who seemed not to care about those expectations at all, and I resented it. You had freedom I didn't have. You can have that freedom too, I said. You just have to stop measuring yourself by other people's standards. Says the guy worth $93 million, Tyler said, but he was smiling. I didn't build wealth to impress anyone, I said. I built it because I love real estate development. I love taking something old and making it beautiful. I love creating spaces where people can live or vacation or build memories. The money is great, but it's not the point. Rachel nodded. That's what I've been trying to tell you for years, Tyler. Success isn't about the numbers. It's about fulfillment. When did you get so wise? Tyler asked her. I'm a teacher, she said. I see what actually matters to people. And it's never the money. It's the relationships, the experiences, the feeling that your life has meaning. We spent the rest of the day at the resort. I showed them the units that were currently vacant, explained my management philosophy, introduced them to the staff. Tyler asked intelligent questions about occupancy rates and operating costs. Rachel wanted to know about the architectural decisions and the environmental sustainability features. It was the first real conversation I'd had with my siblings in years. That evening we had dinner at the resort restaurant. Tyler was more relaxed than I'd seen him in a decade. So what's next for your empire? He asked. More properties? I'm looking at a historic hotel in New Orleans, I said. It needs complete renovation, but it has good bones. Could be special. How much would that cost? The property is listed at $6 million, I said. Renovation would be another $15 to $18 million. But when it's done, it could be worth $35 to $40 million. And you just do that? Tyler asked. Drop $24 million on a project? I'd finance most of it, I explained. Put down about $8 million, mortgage the rest. Use the cash flow from my other properties to cover the renovation costs. It's not as risky as it sounds when you run the numbers. Still, Tyler said. That's a massive undertaking. It's what I love, I said simply. My phone buzzed. My father. Dad, your mother told me about the Miami property. We need to look. Call me. I showed the text to Rachel and Tyler. He's going to freak out, Tyler predicted. Probably, I agreed. I excused myself and called my father. Daniel, he said immediately. Is it true? About the resort? Yes, I said. And the other properties? The $127 million portfolio? Yes. He was quiet for a long moment. Why didn't you tell me? I tried to, Dad. Multiple times over the years. You weren't interested. That's not, he started then stopped. Hey, maybe that's fair. I thought you were wasting your time with small real estate deals. I didn't think they'd amount to anything. They amounted to $93 million in equity, I said. I want to see them, he said. The properties. All of them. Will you show me? Why? I asked. Because you're my son, he said. Because I've been blind and stupid and I want to understand what you've built. Please, Daniel. Let me see what you've accomplished. I thought about it. Hey. But Dad, this isn't about impressing you. This is about you understanding that I've been successful all along. Just not in the way you expected. I know, he said quietly. I'm starting to understand that. Will you forgive me for not seeing it sooner? I forgive you, I said. But we need to establish the same boundaries I set with Tyler. No more assumptions. No more comparisons. No more pressure to be someone I'm not. Agreed, he said. When can I see the properties? Come to Miami this weekend, I said. I'll show you Azure Coast first. Then we can fly to Charleston and Savannah if you want. I'll be there, he promised. Daniel, I'm proud of you. I should have said that years ago. Thanks, Dad. After I hung up, I returned to the table. Rachel and Tyler looked at me expectantly. Dad's coming to Miami this weekend, I said. He wants to see the properties. Character growth arc, Rachel said approvingly. I like it. Do you think they'll actually change? Tyler asked. Or is this just because they know you're rich now? Honestly, I don't know, I said. But I'm willing to give them the chance to try. That's big of you, Tyler said. After everything. They're still family, I said. Flawed human family. Everyone deserves grace. Over the next few weeks, my family made genuine efforts to see me differently. My father visited all 7 properties, asking detailed questions and actually listening to the answers. My mother stopped sending me articles about good job opportunities and started asking about my renovation projects. Tyler apologized at least a dozen more times and started running his own decisions by me before acting on assumptions. Rachel and I got lunch every week, building the sibling relationship we'd never really had. They all asked why I lived so modestly despite my wealth. I explained that I didn't see the point in ostentatious displays. I had everything I needed: beautiful properties I'd built myself, the freedom to work on projects I loved, financial security for life, and increasingly better relationships with my family. The New Orleans hotel deal closed in December. I bought the property, started renovations, and invited my family to the groundbreaking. They all came. Standing in the gutted lobby of what would become a beautiful boutique hotel, surrounded by my family who finally saw me for who I actually was, I felt genuinely content. Tyler stood beside me looking at the architectural plans. This is going to be incredible when it's done. It is, I agreed. I'm sorry I tried to sell your beach shack, he said, smiling slightly. I'm sorry I let you all think it was a beach shack, I replied. Even, he asked. Even, I confirmed. My mother approached, looking at the soaring ceilings and original moldings. You have vision, Daniel. I never understood that before. But you see potential where others see ruins. It's a gift, I said. And a curse. I can never walk past an old building without imagining what it could be. Don't ever lose that, she said. It's what makes you special. My father shook hands with the contractor, asking about timeline and budget. He'd been learning the real estate business, trying to understand my world. It was awkward sometimes, but it was genuine. As the sun set over New Orleans, my family gathered for dinner at a nearby restaurant. For the first time in memory, they asked about my life without comparing it to anyone else's. They listened when I talked about my projects. They saw me. Tyler raised his glass. To Danny. For building an empire while we weren't looking. And for not completely writing us off when we were too blind to see it. To Danny, everyone echoed. I raised my own glass. To family. Flawed, complicated, but worth the effort. We drank, and for the first time in years, it felt like we were actually together. Not because I'd proven my worth through wealth, but because they'd finally taken the time to see who I actually was. And I'd given them the grace to grow. Sometimes that's all family can really ask of each other.